there, it is time for a little episode of
Versus!
With Versus, what we do is we compare two games that have similar mechanics, and then we tell you a little bit about each of them, and then we tell you which one we think is maybe the better game.
Right, they go head to head. Today, in our head to head versus competition, we have Draftosaurus versus Sushi Go. Two drafting games.
All right, so we have a big drafting mechanic in this. Draftosaurus, Sushi Go, and this, in case you don't know, is how you play both of them. In Draftosaurus, every player is going to have their own board that has 6 pens to place their dinosaurs, because you're going to get a bag full of wooden meeple dinosaurs. As you can see here, we have a variety of different shapes and sizes and different dinosaurs. You're also going to have a dice. You're going to roll that dice, and that's going to give you a different way to put the dinosaur. Now, the dice might say you got to go on the left-hand side, the right-hand side, the trees area, or just the rocky area here that's represented in brown. Each player is going to have a handful of dinosaurs to choose from. They choose one, they put it in their pen, and then they pass it off to the left or the right or to the left, depending on which round it is. Now, you can see here that there are some expansions to this, and I actually own the expansion there on the right. And so you're going to get those dinosaurs, and you're going to place them somewhere in one of the pens. Now, this has the expansion up at the very top, but I just wanted to point out how great that integrates right into the actual gameplay. It looks like it's been part of the board all along, right? Anyway, let's go on to some of the different ways to score. So we see down here at the very bottom left area, there's a little coffee cup there, we have 2 orange dinosaurs in what I call the love pen. Because if you can get 2 similar dinosaurs in there, you're going to get 5 points. Now, if I get 2 other types of dinosaurs in there, I'll get another 5 points. However, if there's a lonely dinosaur or an odd number dinosaur, well, you're not going to get all the points for that. All right? You're not going to get any points. And so moving on to the right-hand side over there, still in the brown area, but on the right, we see a variety of different dinosaurs, and they're going to score because that's the unequal pen. As long as you don't have a same dinosaur in there, you're going to be able to score, and it's going to grow exponentially. At the very top, we see on the number 1, an orange dinosaur. What that spot means, as long as you have the majority out of all players of dinosaurs of that color, then you're going to score 7 points. And it looks like he has 4 orange dinosaurs, so he's probably pretty safe. Now for Sushi Go. With Sushi Go, you're going to have, much like the cute little dinosaurs, cute little pieces of sushi, except, with cards. You're going to have 9 cards in your hand, and then you're going to choose one of the cards, and then everybody chooses at the same time, and you then flip it over and reveal and put it into your tableau. Then you pass to the left, or pass to the right, or pass to the left, depending on what round it is. You know how drafting goes. And in the base game of Sushi Go, you're going to have a variety of different cards, such as tempura and dumplings and maki rolls and nigiri. Now, with the maki rolls, you're going to want the most maki rolls, and you just keep adding and adding and adding to it. Sometimes they come in 3, sometimes 2, sometimes 1, and whoever has the most at the end of the first round, second round, and third round is going to get 6 points. Well, with the tempura, you want doubles of that, and with dumplings, you just want as many as possible. What with the nigiri, so there's a squid nigiri for 3 points. That's just instant points. If you have a squid nigiri and you put it down at the very end, you don't need any matches, you don't need anything else. You just get those 3 points. However, if you can get wasabi down there first and then put the nigiri on top of the wasabi, you're actually going to get 3 times the points. For instance, if I have these dumplings, you see how exponentially they grow? If I only have 1, I get 3 or 1 point. 2 is for 3. But if I have all 5 of those, I'm going to get 15 points. That's a great strategy. Let's pretend that we're counting up the score for this. I have 3 dumplings. That's 6 points. This sashimi. I needed 3 of those, so I'm not going to get any points for that. Tempura. Hey, I needed 2, so I'm going to get 5. And there's the wasabi and salmon nigiri. However, the wasabi needed to be on the bottom, so I'm not going to give myself any points for that. If it would have been differently, it would have been 2 times 3, so 6 points. Oh, and also there's the pudding. If you don't have pudding, you're going to lose 6 points if you have the least amount of pudding. That's how you play. Now back to us. Let's start with Draftosaurus. What do you like about Draftosaurus?
All right, well, it's obviously a drafting game. You went over the rules with that. I like the fact that it's not just a drafting game. You're trying to accomplish something with your dinosaurs. I mean that's awesome, little Brontosaurus or whatever they're calling it these days. But you're trying to accomplish.
Did they change the name or something?
They did. They did. It's not. There's no Brontosauruses anymore.
Oh my gosh! First Pluto and now this.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. But I love the game. It's really good because where you place them, they do different things, and I think it's a little bit more strategic than your ordinary everyday drafting game. And I like the complexity to it, and also the options. Like the board, you can flip the board over, and it's give you different stuff on the backside, so that as you place your object, because it's a little bit of drafting and worker placement. So I like that. I like that combo. I think that works really well together in this game.
You know, I never even thought about that, but yeah, a little bit of worker placement in there because, I mean, your workers are your dinos.
Yes.
I do like the fact that they include this dice in it. It really gives a randomizing thing, but it makes you not simply say points. I know where I need to put this person. Oh, now I can't put that person because of this dice. So I do like that, right? Which Sushi Go does not have. Sushi Go you're at the mercy of whatever cards that are available, whereas this, I guess you're at the mercy of whatever dinos are available, but you know, you get so many different colors of the different dinos.
All right. What do you like about Sushi Go?
Well, here's the deal with Sushi Go. It's super simple to play. You just have those deck of cards that you've dealt out. You take a card, you pass them. You take a card, you pass them. Do 3 rounds. You can even pass them to the right, much like here in the dinosaur. You pass it to the left, and then you pass it to the right, etc., etc. What I like about Sushi Go is the fact that I have not had an unsuccessful game time with Sushi Go. Everybody that I've introduced Sushi Go to, they get it really quick, and they have a good time playing it.
Absolutely. I've noticed the same thing. Even people that don't, they're like, I'm not really into games. They attach themselves to it because the artwork is great. It's cute. It's simple. There's just it's fun, and it's anybody can learn it. It's pretty good. But it's a basic drafting game.
It is. It's super basic, right? When that goes, but combined with the cute artwork, combined with the simplicity of play, and the fact that every time we've played it, as soon as we're done, there's a bunch of people that normally don't play games say, "Hey, can we play that again?"
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So
it's well loved.
Yeah.
It's loved by everybody.
Of the price point on both of these games, fairly cheap. I think Sushi Go is going to be a little cheaper, $10 or somewhere in that neighborhood, $15 to $10 depending on where you pick it up at. Whereas this is going to be around 20, 25 or so. All right. So any strategies that you wish to share for that victory, either in Draftosaurus or at Sushi Go?
Draftosaurus is fun. It's as far as strategy goes, I'm not going to tell you because I want to win.
My strategy in Sushi Go is to ignore the Maki roll. A lot of people go after this Maki roll, trying to get those big points, you know, for having the most Maki roll. And you take one, and then the next person puts one down. You're like, oh, why am I wasting a turn when I could have got my tempura, you know, or I could have been building up my sashimi. Now, sometimes I'll take a sashimi, even though I don't think I'm going to get 3 of them, just so the other people don't get their sashimi. It's a little bit of hate drafting in Sushi Go.
Yes, I've noticed that too. Usually when I do well, I get the tempuras because you only need 2 of them. It's 5 points. That's pretty good. And the sashimi, though, 3 of them for 10 points. If you can get those, that's a ticket right there.
I love you putting it down as sashimi, right? Because everybody does it at the same time. Boom, you pass, and the person's passing sashimi to you, and they're like,
"Oh no!"
I hate the fact that I'm giving you
that's
this.
Right, but I have
that's
to.
Always fun. Another strategy for me: collect these, right? Collect the dumplings. Oh,
they are adorable. They're just.
You
should zoom in on that one.
Yeah. The dumplings aren't worth very much until you get a bunch of dumplings, and then they're worth like crazy amount of points. But yeah, I'm not going to take this dumpling, but this guy's already got 3 dumplings. I gotta take this dumpling. But a lot of people they don't play it I guess, defensively,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's. I find this more of an offense game. How about you for Draftosaurus? You ever go on the defense, or is it mostly offense?
For Draftosaurus, it's mostly offense for me. I like to score the points if you can. But again, as you were saying earlier, sometimes this dice are like, oh, I've got this awesome play. I'm going to get 12 points when I put this there. Oh, I can't do that. So now I have to play defensively with that. And so that's often what I do.
Yeah, and that would be neat if they could figure out a way to add something like that into Sushi Go, where you're not allowed to play a certain type of thing. One thing I don't care for in Sushi Go are the chopsticks.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Just to redo.
I don't know. They have a different version of this called Sushi Go Party, and in that they have a variety of more sushi, basically. And it can, and I like the fact that you can mix and match. You can take out this and add this. So if you're really into the game, that's great. That really works well, right? But so let's break it down. Which one do you prefer?
If I had to pick one, I would pick Draftosaurus.
Well, my choice, also Draftosaurus. I think I just can't get over the fact that this yellow Stegosaurus, if they're still
they're still Stegosaurus.
Okay, thank goodness, right?
So
now my question to you: the Brontosaurus, are they going to have to go back to all the old episodes of the Flintstones and change that?
see, that's
No
what
longer
that's where
Bronto
most of my
Burger.
dinosaur knowledge comes from.
The
Is
Flintstones,
So
yeah.
I
All right.
refuse to acknowledge the new name of the Brontosaurus, whatever that is.
I do like that drafting mechanic.
Drafting is a fantastic mechanic, which is why both of these are great games. Even though we gave it to Draftosaurus, Sushi Go is still a good drafting game.
Still, both
It's
are
an
excellent
excellent
games. If you like that drafting, the only thing is, it's the same drafting.
It is. You just take a card and you pass it. You take a card and you pass it. I wish there were more ways that we could play drafting.
Your acting is impeccable. Well, there is.
Yeah, how about that?
We're actually here at Bubser Games working on a game called Draft. Wow, that took weeks to come up with that
Much
name.
creativity, as you can tell.
It is the ultimate drafting game. You know why? Because in this game of draft, we have 16 different ways of drafting. Yes, there's one where we take a card and pass it.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
another one is take a card and pass it to the other way. But there's still 14 good ones. Well, you got
14 other ones.
You got to have the basics, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of different games that use that drafting mechanic in a clever way, like Patchwork and Seven Wonders Duel, right?
Yeah.
Well, we use those drafting mechanics from a bunch of different games that we enjoy, and we
created our own.
and we did and put them into this game called Draft. And in this game, what you're going to do is you're going to have 3 rounds, 9 different drafts. There are 16 different ways of drafting. You're going to have 9 of those, and then next time you play the game, you shuffle up the drafting. We got cards there just for drafting, and you pick which one you want. In fact, you could even draft the draft.
I'm glad you said that, because that's my favorite part. What drafts are we going to use? I don't know. Let's draft for them. It's great. It's excellent.
It's about 2 to 5 players, 30 minutes long. We're still in development, but we're hoping to bring this sometime within the next year or two to a Kickstarter near you. Look for it. Anyway, so on this episode, Draftosaurus is the winner. We'll catch you on the next one.